Entrepreneurship is not for the impatient. So, because the payoffs are usually down the road.
The long run.
The long run, yes, always.
Welcome back to the Business Playground. This is your host, Jacob Odell, and I have the honor of speaking with Tonya Vakulskas. She is a real estate agent, investor, pretty much just an all-around awesome human being, which is great. She's been in the real estate industry for 18 years, correct?
18 years,
18
yes,
years.
yes.
Still going strong. And she's licensed in Nebraska, Iowa, and South Dakota.
That is correct.
Awesome.
Yes.
So she's hitting all those tri-state areas. And Tonya, just give me a little bit juice about your life.
Sure. So I'm a lifelong resident of the Sioux City, Iowa area, and got into real estate in 2004. We were, Jacob and I were just talking that, my generation, we were told that you have to do one of two things. You either go to college, you get your degree, and you go and you work for someone, and you stay in that job for 40 years, and then you happily retire. Or you don't go to college, and you go and get a job, and you stay in that job for 40 years until you retire. And I realized, after I'd been doing that for several years, that really wasn't the gig for me, that I really wanted to be in business for myself. So when I was 32, I got my real estate license, and it's amazing all the places that real estate license has taken me over the years.
What age did you get your real estate license at?
32.
32. So
32.
You were a little later than a lot of other real estate agents, would you say?
No,
really?
Actually,
Okay.
no. I remember when I've only worked for two brokers in that 18-year period of time, and I remember that broker saying, "You know what? You're so young that you're going to do really well in real estate." And the reality is, when I got into the real estate business, the average age of a real estate agent was 56 years old.
Holy crap!
So now what I have seen in the last couple of years is that age group trending down.
Yeah.
So people treated me when I got into real estate like I was a kid, and I kind of was at that time and place, in that time and place. So 18 years in real estate. Some of the things I've done with that real estate license is, of course, sales. I've have been able to build a pretty solid residential real estate business. I've got some clients that have been with me from day one, and they continue to list and buy real estate with me. I have spent a number of years recruiting and training and helping get new people into the business. Spent a period of time as a sales manager for real estate, and then one of the things that I do now is I do teach real estate education through the Iowa Association of Realtors. So I teach some pre-licensing, I do some continuing education. So I do that on a smaller scale, but I would say my primary business right now is selling real estate. So and I do work anywhere from the tri-state Siouxland area all the way on up to the Okoboji, Iowa area.
Awesome, and I've heard Okoboji is beautiful.
It is beautiful.
I've never been yet.
You need to.
I know.
You need to.
Tells me to.
And it's not just a summer destination. It's a year-round destination. So great things happening in that community, just like the Siouxland community, year-round.
Right on. And have you ever looked at any other houses outside of these three states that you're associated with? Have you ever, had a seller from Texas, come out and compared the markets from Texas to, Sioux City?
Yes.
And how's that look?
As a matter of fact, I do quite a bit of referral business around the United States.
Awesome.
So I've had family members, I've had close friends want to buy real estate in other states. So probably one of my stories that I have is my sister-in-law reached out to me about a year and a half ago, and she wanted to buy an investment property in Fort Myers Beach.
Okay.
So I was able to interview agents that work that market and know that market, and found a fit for her, someone an agent that I felt would be great for her and her husband. And they closed on a property in Fort Myers Beach in December of 2021, so moving on a year. Unfortunately, their new property is one that was impacted by the Hurricane Ian. So it looks like the property is going to be okay.
Sure.
But yeah, right on the beach in Fort Myers. And so, yeah, what a way to start your real estate investing, to have your property get hit by a 100-year hurricane.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
But no, I do quite a bit of referral business throughout the United States. I have a very good friend of mine. She is born and bred in Sioux City. We went to high school together. We've been friends since high school. I talk to her almost every day. She's a very successful real estate agent in Dallas, Texas, and we talk almost daily about challenges and opportunities that are facing us in the real estate community. Their price point's a little different than our Siouxland price point, but at the end of the day, the challenges and the opportunities tend to be similar.
Sure. And we're talking about referrals, which are huge within business, right?
Yes,
and
huge.
just being an entrepreneur, you need to know a lot of people. Everybody talks about networking.
Correct.
There's a silly saying of, your net worth is your net worth kind of
Correct.
deal.
Correct.
Which is, yes, to an extent.
Yes.
But referrals are huge because referrals can come from people that you don't even know, right? And like you said, there's people in Texas, Florida that you communicate with. And around that area, how are those referrals actually helping you within Sioux City, though?
Oh, well, my business in Sioux City is in the Siouxland area. I track my numbers.
Okay.
So I track my numbers very, very closely because I want to know where my business is coming from. And my real estate business is 96% repeat and referral business.
Beautiful.
And it has been since probably just looking over the years, I would say most of my real estate business from the very beginning has been repeat and referral business. But yes, referrals are very, very important in any type of business.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes in business, regardless of what type of business you're in. It just goes back to treat others how you wish to be treated, and that business that will reward itself.
Sure.
So being kind, doing the right thing, being transparent is extremely important in any type of business.
Right.
And I try and be very, very transparent and very honest with everybody that I'm dealing with, and that has ultimately resulted in a 96% referral repeat business.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you want.
That's what you want,
right?
yes,
You want your
yes.
customers coming back to you.
Yes.
So you're doing something really good, obviously, because your customers are liking you, they're coming back. You also obviously have a great personality, so people are easy to talk to with you, which is great. I'm curious about the brand equity that Keller Williams brings to you on the table. How are you able to actually leverage Keller Williams' name for your opportunities?
Oh, okay. Well, Keller Williams, they are, first of all, they are the largest real estate company in the world. So it does have that great name recognition. They do have a lot of tools for their agents to take advantage of if the agent so chooses.
Right.
And I have found Keller Williams to be just a great company to associate my Tonya Vakulskas brand with.
Right.
So, I'm still very much my own business person, but I'm using the Keller Williams platform that they have built, and I use a lot of their tools and systems so I'm not always continually reinventing the wheel.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
So it's very much my own brand and my own business, but they have some things that are proven and tested.
Yeah.
That why recreate it if it's not broken?
Yeah. Why not?
Exactly.
And a lot of brokerages reinvest a lot of their stuff into their agents, right?
Correct.
So like, what are some of the awesome tools that Keller Williams is offering you as an agent? And the reason why I ask this is because if there's somebody out there within the audience and stuff
Sure.
who is looking to get the real estate license,
Sure.
you know, they're weighing the pros and cons of every single brokerage. So
Right.
just explain some of those tools that they leverage.
So, well, I worked for my first brokerage for 15 years. Great company, absolutely wonderful company. So I wanted to expand outside of the Siouxland area.
Okay.
And so I had an opportunity with Keller Williams to go help open up a new business center in the Okoboji, Iowa area. So that is what originally led me to Keller Williams, was the opportunity to be able to conduct business both in the Siouxland and also help be part of a new exciting project up in Okoboji. But one of the things that I really like about Keller Williams is I'm big on education, and they have so much education available.
Really?
Literally every day there is some sort of education that I can take advantage of.
Yeah.
So they teach you how to run a business. So they have taught me the importance of having a profit and loss, having clear, open communication with my CPA, which has led me to have conversations with my CPA as, do I want to structure my business as an LLC or an S Corp? Because that's ultimately, a conversation that I had to have with my accountant, but they helped lead me in that direction of how should I even structure the Vakulskas Group brand. And so lots of education, lots of referral opportunities. And then most recently, Keller Williams has been opening up what they call communities. Okay. So they're different little subdivisions of Keller Williams. Huh. So they have a commercial community. So I am a member of their commercial team and their commercial community, and what that does is allows me to participate in all the education and all the opportunities if I were to pursue a commercial real estate business. I have also earned myself into their luxury. You have to earn yourself into luxury by selling a certain number of properties at a certain price point. Okay. So, and then the other community that I am a part of, and it's something that I've been thinking about doing for a number of years, and I wasn't just quite sure how to structure it, but one of the things I'm really passionate about is design and staging. Okay. And I just, from free time, I love looking at Instagram and the pretty houses and all the different designers. And Keller Williams has a brand new staging and design company. So it is a off-the-shelf product that I can take to my customers from day one. Huh. So if they're looking at, refreshing a room or putting their home on the market, they have, that is a community that I have chosen to join. So. Huh. But they have a land division. Keller Williams also has relocation division. So if an agent is looking at making helping relocating people part of their core businesses, they have a relocation department community that you can join. So there's just really endless opportunities with Keller Williams. And then they do the other thing that the Keller Williams brand has allowed me to do is to be able to structure a team. So a team is basically a brokerage within a brokerage. Right. So I have a team, it's called the Vakulskas Group, and on that team I have an admin who helps support the back end. And then I have Greg Gregerson, who works here in the Siouxland area, who just a wealth of knowledge that he brings to our team. And he helps buyers and sellers in Iowa and Nebraska. And then we also have Megan DeYoung, who she is an agent in the Sioux County and North. So she'll service anywhere from Orange City, Hosper, Sioux Center, all the way up to the Okoboji area. And then she also helps support on the marketing side. So we do a lot of video
Okay.
And so some of the video that you see is stuff that she has actually taken and edited for us.
Awesome. Okay. And so how are like some of those, I know that you do renovations. You got one that's currently going on, right?
Yeah.
Which is
I have a
awesome.
I do.
Yes,
I
you have a renovation.
I
of your
have a
own.
renovation project, yes.
So I want you to tell me a little bit how that process is going, because you know, there's flippers, wholesalers, and even just normal home buyers who are doing their own renovations. And so now you are also having experience in that
Yes.
little hands-on kind of environment. So
Yes.
you're in what, week 17 now, 16?
Yeah, just finished week 16.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So, yes, my husband and I purchased a property in Okoboji this past summer.
Okay.
And we bought a condo. It's on a golf course, and the property needed extensive renovation, to the point where it wasn't very livable.
Okay.
Put it that way. We purchased the property completely furnished, so we spent several weeks just clearing the property out. And now we're to the point where it is nuts and bolts renovation. So what we are doing currently is, it took about 4 weeks to just go back and perfect the walls. So, and the thing with renovation is, so my husband is an electrical contractor. I firmly believe he knows everything and anything you need to know about electrical.
Okay.
And he's been around contractors, his whole working career. But it is way different when you're working on your own projects.
Yeah.
So, for the most part, it's gone pretty well.
Okay.
And as expected. However, we did hit a little bit of a hurdle.
Okay, tell me about that hurdle.
So, the hurdle is it's the importance of thoroughly, when you're inviting other people to work in your properties, thoroughly vetting and making sure that there's clear communication with any other contractors that may be working on the project.
So who messed up?
Who messed up? So I'm very, very, very extremely satisfied with the work product.
Okay.
I'm going to blame it on me messing up and
Sure.
not doing a thorough interview.
Okay. All right, we'll leave it at
And
that.
yes, and always get stuff in writing. We'll leave
Yes.
it at that.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yes.
All
But the project's coming along. It is now to the point where it is livable. We have a sink. We have working toilets. We have working showers. It's going to be very, very cool. Very, very cool. So,
Okay,
yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm happy for you on that end, because that's
Yes.
an awesome experience. That
Yes,
you're
and
going
we bought that. Multiple people have asked us, so are you going to Airbnb the property?
Sure.
So, and because Airbnb short-term rentals are kind of a hot topic right now. And one thing I would caution is, if you're looking at getting into the short-term rental, and by the way, there is a short-term rental market in the Siouxland area.
Yes, there
so,
is.
I have a client who has successfully done that. I've talked to other people about getting more involved in the short-term rental business, but more often you see short-term rentals in resort areas.
Yes.
And one thing, if you're looking at getting involved into the short-term rental, is you need to know if there's a homeowners association that prevents short-term rentals.
Yeah.
So I've had many, many people ask me, can we rent your unit? Can we rent it for the weekend?
Yeah.
And the answer is no. Not because we wouldn't, but because we have rental restrictions in place. So
Do you have an HOA?
We have an HOA.
Okay.
We do have an HOA. This HOA does allow longer term rentals, but does not allow short term rentals.
Got it.
So if you're looking at doing some sort of short term rental, talk to your real estate agent,
Yeah.
and they can tell you if the property would qualify for short-term rentals, and if there's any restrictions, and what type of restrictions are in place. So up in the Iowa Great Lakes area, pretty much every development has an HOA with different covenants and bylaws saying what you can and cannot do. But we also run into that into the Siouxland area as well. So just always, if you're looking at doing something like along the lines of a short-term rental, really research it before signing your name on the dotted line.
Your life away.
Your life away. Yes.
100%.
So this property that we're renovating, we've purchased it more as a long-term hold.
Okay.
So is what it's going to be. May we get a longer term renter in there? Maybe at some point. For now, it's a long-term hold investment.
I love it. That's awesome. Can't wait to come up and visit.
Yes,
so that'd be awesome. Maybe I'll help you out with some handyman work. So my dad's an electrical contractor as well. So
okay.
awesome.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
So I'm familiar in that area.
You're familiar. Yes. Perfect. Great business.
Yeah. Great.
Love our electricians.
Yes, we do. They fix everything.
They do.
So, okay. So I wanted to discuss a little bit more of like the business marketing side of things. Of how you have been able to differentiate yourself from other agents online in this digital space. You know, you came in, you said in your 30s, right?
Right.
Where marketing for real estate agents was still a lot of print.
Yes.
And it wasn't on this digital age.
It still is.
So, yeah, it is. But how have you been able to navigate onto this digital frontier for real estate agents?
Yes, it would be very, very easy just to go about my day and just sell real estate.
Yes.
So, but we put, my team and I, we put a very intentional focus on being out there in the digital world. So things are planned. We talk on a weekly basis. What are we going to do? What message do we want to send out? What do we want our content to look like? And so everything that we do is very intentional, and it's very purposeful, and it also has to be planned. Because if you don't, first and foremost, I'm a real estate agent. But if you don't plan for your marketing, it just doesn't get done.
Right.
So we create all of our materials in-house, and there are companies that we could hire. We choose not to because we want that voice to be our own.
Sure.
And so, we create our own.
Sure.
So
yeah. And what would you say for someone who's looking to develop their team to help them out on something on this end, or just in general? Like, how'd you go about creating your team?
How'd I go about creating my team? Again, planning, lots of planning, and it hasn't been perfect.
Sure.
So nothing ever is in business, but lots of planning. Finding the type of people that I wish to align with, people that have my own values and my own vision, even though they may be different than me and we may all have different thought processes, but generally speaking, people that I'm in alignment with and we share a similar vision.
Yeah, okay. And when you first got, your first real estate check from the brokerage, right? And I'm sure it was a great feeling and everything. Were you able to, I guess, continue on in the same way that you do now as you did then? Or how have things changed from when you first started to now?
Great question. I am much more intentional about treating it as a business.
Okay.
So much more intentional. And I should have started treating it more like a business years before I did. But yes, it's very much a business. And again, planning, we spend a lot of time planning. So
planning seems to be a reoccurring thing.
Planning seems to be a reoccurring thing. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And are you looking at something that's this is one thing that I preach a lot, is you can always set goals, you can always do all the planning and stuff, but goals without the action is nothing at all, right?
Correct.
So where are you finding those action plan, those action steps, like you just like, I'm a go-getter, it's natural to me, or you gotta pull it somewhere out and actually
Right,
go.
right. So there's being entrepreneurial,
Yes.
which often leads to, I've done a lot of this in my career, the roller coaster, and then also being purposeful.
Okay.
So, and I think you have to find the fine balance between being very, very entrepreneurial and then also being purposeful. So, I wake up every morning, what can I do to move forward, help others achieve their dreams.
Yeah.
And lots of times, they say it's a mindset, but it's also getting into action. So the first step is, number one, getting out of bed and getting up, getting ready for the day. You have your plan, but at the end of the day, sometimes you're not always sticking to your plan 100% because other fires come up and other things come up. But having some sort of plan and just getting into action. I think there has to be some fire in you, and I think there has to be some passion.
Right.
So would I be as excited if I were in a different industry to get up every day? Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah.
So, but I do have passion for the business, and I think that helps get my feet into action every day.
Yes. And as a student and as a young entrepreneur as myself, we have this struggle of figuring out that, you touched on it a little bit, of the time that you spend doing things as well.
Yes.
And being your own boss is really difficult because you're not being accounted for by someone else, you're just accounting for yourself.
Correct.
So you have to force yourself to get out of bed, to go do the things you need to get done.
Right.
And without seeing a return instantly. So how has that been for you? And how has that been that you just wake up? I know you said passion, but there's got to be something else to it than just passion, right? Come on.
So yes, in real estate, you only get paid if you perform.
Right.
And a performance is a closing. So lots of times you have to have the faith. You have to maybe be willing to do what others won't. You have to be okay when things don't go as planned.
Yeah.
So, because that will ultimately happen.
Yep.
You have to always put the consumer's needs first. And that, more than anything, tends to pay off in spades in the long run. Mm-hmm. So, I think you just, you have to keep the faith.
Okay.
And entrepreneurship is not for the impatient. So, because the payoffs are usually down the road.
The long run.
The long run, yes, always. So it's the small steps you take every day that get you to the long run.
I love it. Yeah, that's something I struggle with. And, we talked about the generational differences. Is like my generation's used to like, we want it now, we want it now.
You do.
So that's a huge struggle for a lot of us is we want to be in the industry. We want to have the knowledge. We want to feel that we are superior to all these other people and stuff. Yet we don't have the capabilities just quite yet because we're impatient. And so, the simple solution is just work on your patience, I would say,
Yes.
There's no way to really train patience besides just waiting.
No. And me being a type A, it's something I've had to learn.
Yeah.
The patience I've had to learn. So, and you get little wins along the way before you really get that big payoff. So it's the little wins every day. So, and to me, a little win might be, I run into someone that I haven't talked to in a long time and we have a good conversation about real estate.
Yeah.
Or it might be, another little win might be just someone saying, thank you for taking the time to visit with me. Or you calling me and saying, hey, you know what, would you be on my podcast? And so it's the little wins that keep you going. And just know that those little wins add up along the way.
Yeah.
So one thing I love about your generation, and I've seen it coming for many years, and I see it in my own kids. I have 3 sons, and they're all pretty independent, and 2 of them are very, very entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
And yes, and I see that, and I'm thinking if I would have had that confidence to do what you're doing, what they're doing, what I see others doing in their early 20s, I'm like, how much further would I be ahead now?
Yeah, because I'm always concerned that I'm not doing enough right now, and then I realize like, oh, I'm only 19. Like I got my whole life ahead of me.
Exactly.
And that's just so hard for me to comprehend because I just want to go out. I want to do some big things and everything. But it's like, yo, man, you're still in college. Like, yo, enjoy life, have fun.
Little steps.
Yeah.
Little wins.
The little wins are huge.
The little wins are huge. They are very huge. Sometimes when you get to the big win, it doesn't seem as big because you've had all these other little wins that have kept you going. And then also, there's a saying that we preach at Keller Williams, and it's called fail forward.
Yes.
So, you're only as successful as many times as you can fail. And will you have failures along the way? Absolutely. If you don't, you're not doing anything.
Yeah. You're not working hard enough.
You're not working hard enough. Yeah. Yes. And, the same thing in real estate. I see, real estate, it's you don't quite understand the business until you're in the business, because there's all these little things that need to be done from the time the contract is executed until the time it's closed. And sometimes there's some really bizarre things that happen that create headaches and hurdles and problems to overcome. And I had a mentor tell me, and it's something that I now tell other agents, well, if you didn't have problems, you wouldn't have business. So embrace the problems.
Yes. Problems are going to actually help you.
Problems are going to help you. Yes. Yes. They give you experience. They give you, they can beat you up a little bit and toughen you up, but they can help you. And without problems, you have no business.
Couldn't have said better.
Yeah.
I agree.
So,
what kind of advice would you give to an upcoming real estate agent that they're getting their license right now and they're about to jump into this market, this crazy market which we can also talk about too. But what's some advice that you would give to them?
So just stick with the basics.
Okay.
Don't reinvent the wheel. Let people know you're in real estate. Do the activities, and your brokers will give you, activities and things that help get you into motion. Do the activities, show up every day, even when you're tired, even when it hurts, just show up and do the business. Okay. And, I've always been told that mindset is everything. If you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. But with that said, there are days when I think I can't, and I get up and I'm not in a very good mood.
Yeah.
But I know I've got these activities that I've got to get done. The activities will sometimes also spur mental clarity and mental positivity.
Yeah.
And so get up and do the activities.
Okay. Just get up and get going.
Just get up and get going.
Make your bed.
Make your bed. Yeah. Make your bed. Yes. Make your bed.
Yes.
So.
All right. And what's your take on the current financial situation or housing market situation?
I feel like we are, so the last couple of years have been crazy. Rates have been artificially low. The market has been artificially busy. It's just been kind of artificially crazy. Mm-hmm. I feel like
what do you mean by artificially?
So interest rates were in the 2-3% range,
okay.
Which, technically, historically, interest rates, we see 8-9%. Now when we're seeing rates in the 6s and 7s, which is really more of a more normal rates, I I feel like the real estate market is starting to stabilize a little bit, so it's maybe not as crazy of a seller's market. I still feel that there's some good opportunities out there for both buyers and sellers. It feels very, very much like a balanced market to me.
Okay.
And where it's not really skewing too much one, either buyer or seller. So good opportunities for everybody.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people are getting worked up about, you know, how the market is and like a decline, recession, all the big words that people are throwing out.
Right.
It's like, well, if you're still in the market to buy a house or sell your house.
People, you know what? I sold a house this weekend.
Yeah.
I sold a house on Saturday night, 8 o'clock. I got the final signature on the offer.
Which is awesome.
Which is awesome. Yep. I've got a listing I'm going to after this. I've got 2 more listing appointments today, actually. So
it's still a market.
It's still a market.
If you're looking to sell, looking to buy, don't be afraid, don't be deterred.
And one thing I also, you know, because I was working during the last great housing recession, which was caused by just some craziness in the market at that time. But I just went out and did my own thing. I didn't even know that we were in a great recession. And so there are opportunities in every market. You just have to find them.
Okay. All right. I love it.
So
is there any last words of advice, things that you would like to talk about before we wrap some things up?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Well, I appreciate your time, Tonya.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.